Hello, this is Talamir and welcome to another repair video. In this video, we are looking at this Surface. This is a Surface 4 Pro, I think is what it is. And what the issue is with this is the button is extremely sticky. So I just got to go and get this open because dripping alcohol in it alone will not suffice. It needs to be loosened up. We got to remove the substance that is causing it. I do believe the tablet got spilt on a little bit, and that's the issue that we're dealing with. So once we get that open, we'll be able to get this a bit better cleaned up. Now, I looked up the information on how to do this, because there's no way that I would have known how to get into this tablet otherwise. I mean, I could take some guesses, but basically I'm just going to heat this up all the way around. There's adhesive like normal, nothing on the center, fortunately, but you got adhesive all around the edges. We're going to get that up. So to start this off, we're going to get a card of some kind. This is just some plastic cards I purchased on Amazon. They work pretty good for what they are. Slip it in here. And that should get you going. Now, if you're wanting any of the equipment or supplies that I have or am using in my videos, you can find my Amazon affiliate links in the video description. I do make a small profit off of those. This is really hard. They made it look so easy in the video. That's a speaker. It's also cold again. It's not incredibly, but I mean, it's no longer hot. Well, it took a long time of cutting through that adhesive, but I finally managed to get through. I had a couple of times where I kind of scared myself when I was working around the bottom. That aside, basically I saw my plastic card slip in behind the screen when the screen is affixed to the digitizer with glue. That was concerning. Anyways, I just need to get into this. There is two shields here. Then once I get that screen disconnected, I'll be more easily able to work on the rest of this tablet. There. I bent the shield a little bit, but I think it should be okay. So that's one connector. Now let's get this one off. There. Making progress. Why are you so difficult to get in? Yeah, look at that. I bent it up some. Fortunately, this metal is extremely bendy, easy to deal with. This is the biggest connectors I've ever seen. That is a heck of a screen. Now that we're finally in, look at the power button. The power button is behind this speaker right here. Okay, so I have a screw here. There's probably going to be a screw right here. Yes. And if I'm lucky, this whole assembly of this bit, this speaker, will just come right out. Let's see if this is the right size. That works. I'm not sure how I'm going to get around this heat tube. There's also hidden underneath this heat sink a connector for that speaker. Oh, there's another screw. I think I exposed it earlier and I forgot about it instantly. It's tiny compared to the other two, so I gotta remember that. Now, how easy is this going to be to get out now? Shield is super tough to get out, but I think I need to do this. Even if I'm just flipping it up so I can get the speaker out, that'd be good. Think that's done it? Yes, that's done it. Okay. Am I free? I think I'm kind of free. There. Okay. Oh, look at that liquid. Okay, this was a very good decision to take that out because that button is still quite sticky. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be that easy to get out. Alright, so all I got to do is going to grab some gloves. And I'm going to soak this area here in alcohol. Little tiny chunk of paper towel I've got cut up here. I'm going to give this a little bit of a wipe down. Not much is coming out. Okay. How about a Q-tip soaked in... Let's try that. This is just dish soap. Dish soap that's been watered down with water, so very much so just dish sink water? No, not really. But if anything, this has to dissolve using water. It's not dissolving nearly as well with the other. I could clean the the volume rocker as well while I'm at it. Why not? Yeah, you see all that dirt? I gotta get that off first before I can move on. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than this. This has taken me a long time. Okay, I think that'll do. Get those power buttons back in, those button back in, and the volume rocker. Let's get that speaker back in. I don't have much maneuverability. You can't bend this pipe. If you do, it's not game over, but it's definitely not a good thing for it to happen. You don't want to bend that pipe. Oh, there's a cable that I pulled out and didn't even realize it. That's obviously for the power button in the volume rocker. Just underneath this. Can I get this off? Oh no. It goes in there. It's under the pipe. Oh, that means I gotta get it off regardless. Ugh. I should have just taken it off in the first place then. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's really hard to get this panel off. But now it's not a, oh, I can work around it situation. It's a, well, it's coming off no matter what situation. There. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm going to have to reapply some thermal paste, I'm betting now. Let's see if I can wiggle the pipes back and forth until it loosens up the adhesive. Not adhesive, the thermal paste underneath. There. Actually, I didn't need to do that. Alright, that's off. I think. Yes. Oh, they've got a screw left. Alright. I think I've got everything. That is some dry thermal paste. Put this somewhere safe. I'm going to get that cleaned off right now. No sense waiting around for it. Easiest way to get thermal paste off is alcohol. Okay, good to go there. I don't think I need this glove anymore. It's just getting hot and sweaty. So there it is. There's the connector right here, as you can see. Flip up the back. I can slip this in. I'm going to get those buttons in first, though. I think I'm going to have to put this in first. This connector. No, maybe not. See what's what. Okay, that goes over there. So this needs to go in like this. Just like that. And then I flip this up like this, put that in, and now I put this cable in right here. There we go. Nice and snug. Little clasp down. I can put this back in place. Gotta get that little Lego connector back in place as well for that sensor or camera or whatever it is. Okay, I think we're good. Let's get the old thermal paste off of here as well. We can get this all put back together. Really don't need a lot with this. Just needs a little dab. That's about all I need. It's actually way more than I need. Way more than I need. Flip it back over. Plop it on down. My only concern at this point now is, did I hurt the screen? I didn't see any issues, but you never know. The screens on these are expensive. I'm not tightening these down all the way. The reason is because it's such a large part that you don't know exactly what's going to happen until after you get the last screw in. Once you have the last screw in, you can tighten them all down. And it's just because there's a lot of play in this, and you don't want a screw. Like this was slightly off. I can move that back into place, and then it'll sit proper. So I have to go back all over these screws afterwards to make sure that they are all properly set. Okay, we've got all the adhesive more or less fixed up. I want to test that screen. I'm truly concerned. I am really concerned. Oh, how do I do this again? I think it goes this way. I'm going a little bit backwards right now. I have to go this way. I can't reach them otherwise. There we go. It's about as much as I'm willing to put it back together. Flip it around. It's out of battery. I'm going to put one of these cards down just to prevent it from sticking. Like that. Button feels very nice. So far, so good. Okay, there we go. That's working. Why is the touch screen not working? So I've made a really stupid mistake. I can't really say it's completely like my fault. I'm going to blame some of this on the design of this, because when you're going along, the getting that adhesive out, you strike cables if you're not careful, and that's why the digitizer is not working. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to disconnect the digitizer cable, and looking around here, looking for the ribbon cable. It's right here. I'm pretty sure it's right here. Smaller of the two. It makes sense. And we're looking for tears. You see that right there? There's a tear. Right there. I can fix this. I'm just really unhappy about that. The rest should be fine, I'm pretty sure. Sure hope I'm okay with the rest. I don't see where the rest of the cables are. They must be all on this side. Which means if I was to pull this up, can I see the back? I cannot see the back. Now, might be all that it needs is a little blob of solder. I'm really gutted over this because this is an exceedingly expensive screen. And I mean not at all inexpensive. It is incredibly expensive, this screen. So I gotta scrape off a little bit of this conformal coating, and then I can bridge this with a little chunk of wire. When I'm doing this, I'm going to need to also use very low heat on my soldering iron, maybe around 350 degrees Celsius. This is what I get for not doing enough research. I wonder if I can just put a little dab of solder there. I first want to see whether or not truly the connection has been broken, so I'm going to try melting away a little bit of this plastic. Okay, I think that's been cleared off. What I'm really concerned about is the pins on the back of this. So I need to check about connectivity first. So I'm getting out my multimeter. I'm just going to put this into continuity mode. So if I go from here to where the original break is, which is right there, just want to see what I'm getting. Okay. And you see that right there? There's nothing. Oh, there's kind of something. It's intermittent. So I'm going to guess when this gets folded, it's going to stop working again. Either that or maybe a piece of plastic is covered back over my spot. Yeah, it's intermittent, all right. I really hope this is all the issue is. Oh. I'm using some wire. It's incredibly thin. Okay, gotta tin the wire. This is not working. Little flux. Okay, let's get that wire in. Ah. Okay, that's about as good as I can do. I'm going to put this back in and let's see if this works. It's still not working. The digitizer still is not working. I got to go back to the drawing board and give it another go. Well, I failed, guys. I tried to fix that cable, but it was just a no-go. I thought it was the little section up here. Now, you can't really see this, it's so tiny, microscopic, but a little break, there was one cable on this side that was broken. One line, one trace. But I think the real issue is deep inside of here. That is what broke. So the screen, I thought it would be upwards of $400, but I got really fortunate because my parts provider was selling this screen for around, I think it was around $80 Canadian. And I told the customer about the problem, what happened, and I told her that don't worry about it. It's not your issue. I will replace it for free. She said something amazing. I've only dealt with this customer a few times, but every time I've ever dealt with her or her husband or anybody else in there, it's been really easygoing. So easygoing. She said that she'd pay for the screen if I just backed the data up on on the surface and put the data back on. Apparently it's been running a little bit on the slow side. and she said that she'd be happy with that. I told her that, you know, I do that service for like $60. I asked her if she's really sure if she wants to do that, and she said yes. I won't know how to do it, she said. So I'm very fortunate. I am very, very fortunate. That would have been quite the loss on my part. It's been a hard month for me. But there it is. There's the new one. It looks like I got to transfer some stuff across for it. You can see right there. Let's do that now. This really shows the importance, the extreme importance of always making sure you do research on the tablet and try to figure out where the cables are, because yeah, I botched that up so bad. So I'm going to take these off. I think I need this cable out as well. Okay, I got that off pretty easily. It was just glued down. I just heated it up some with the heat gun, and then after that put a little bit of alcohol down. It came right up. It's still quite sticky, but I think I'm ready for the new screen now. Now this is a refurbished screen, so you can see there's fingerprints on the screen, the back of it, but that should be fine. So this just goes right here. What I think I'm going to do to align this better, I'm thinking it would be a good idea to connect those ribbon cables first. I'm in unknown territory, so I'm nervous. I'm nervous of damaging something again. There's the digitizer in, and here's the main screen, and that should just fold like right across down there, like this. All I gotta do is test. Oh no, we got cables to put in. That's all connected in. I have to put a card in just to prevent this from completely closing on me, since I'm not ready yet to stick it all down. And the moment that goes down, it's gonna be difficult to get it unstuck. Let's just see how this goes. Oh, it's going to be out of battery. There. It's working. I know this is going to be a problem, but I am still a little bit concerned that I'll get this started up and the digitizer still won't be working, which doesn't make any sense, but I'm still worried about that. Yes, the digitizer is in fact working. As you can see, I don't know how much that's working, but we're at a good start. I'm going to get in, I'm going to get that data backed up, and I'm going to be able to finish this repair. Oh, from power button to full-on screen replacement because of one small mistake. I don't remember where I've been at this point. I can't remember what I recorded. We're done. But yeah, this screen was replaced, but it's doing some really funky things. I moved everything over, but over time, as the screen warms up, it goes into this crazy glitchy mess. And I took some pictures from my parts provider so they could see what it was doing. I've already ordered another one from them, and it's already come in, so I'm going to immediately go and install that right now. So I've been fooling around with this. I've gone through 2 screens and lots of testing, and I've discovered something really annoying. This is a little stuck down, but let me see if I can zoom in here. It should be right here. You see that? Version 1.0. So because of this very statement here of it saying 1.0, and there's no other indicator anywhere on the screen of a version number of the screen, and it says it on both tags, actually. This one says 1.1 on the other one. I had to conclude that this was a version 1, right? That makes sense, right? And so I went onto my provider, my parts provider's website, and they have 2 different screens. They've got one that says version 1.0, and the other one says version 2.0. So I was like, well, then this must be 1.0. And I was really happy because it was the cheaper of the 2 screens, right? But this is the screen that I received. Here it is. Here's the screen that I received. And what do you see there? It's kind of hard to see, actually. But it says version, or V, 0.1. 0.1. My parts provider has messed up. It is version 0.1 and version 1.0. That's what they got going there, and it's caused me some problems. So I finally purchased version 2.0 off of their website, even though that should not be what it is. Let's have a look, see what that one's version says. They sent me the wrong one. This one also says 0.1 on it. Now I'm very confused. So at this point in editing the video, I just couldn't be bothered putting in that massive clip of what happens next. It's basically, I went back and forth with my parts supplier. It was a big pain because the Surface Pro 4 screens, like multiple ones that I ordered, were all glitching out like this. So my parts provider said that I needed to use the Surface Pro 5 screen instead with the same ribbon cables for the Surface Pro 5, and they were compatible with the Surface Pro 4, and that would solve the issue. It did not solve the issue. The issue was much more different and just frustrating because it's a little hit and miss. So here's another try at this. This one, it is a version or V1.1, but this one still says 0.1. I'm just hoping that this one will work. This is my last try. If I can't get this fixed, I'm gonna have to buy the customer another Surface Pro 4. As much as that hurts me, I'll need to do it because there's no other choice. There's no other option. Oh, everything's the same old. Slipping those into this little daughter board. Darn well hope this works out. Well, so far it turns on. Let's just make sure that the touch screen works well. Okay, so far so good. All I gotta do now is just open up a web browser, open up a YouTube video to keep the screen on, and just test to see if the glitch comes back again. I've had this running now for about an hour, maybe 2 hours now. Let's see how this is. I don't see any issues. Any glitches? The previous one, all the other screens, in fact, when they had this issue, I noticed the words shaking, lines all over the place. Even when it was not terrible, you could still see like doubling of the words to some degree, and it looked a little bit off. Like, felt like you were something wrong with your eyes, you know? I can't really explain it. It's working. It's finally working. How long? 2 hours. I've been running this for 2.5 hours without problems. Most of the issues came up within the first 3 to 5 minutes, and some of them even within the first after about 15 minutes. So what was the fix? It was simply looking to match up. Let me find it again. It's right here. There's 2 cables once again. This is the old screen. And I'm just going to zoom in just to make it really clear for anybody. The fix that worked best for me. You see that right there? The left cable right here? Version or V1.1 right there. This one didn't matter. It says V1.0, but the one in this screen is V0.1, and the cable on the left is V1.1. This one right there. That's really important because it shows that this little guy and this one way down here in the center of the screen, they are both part of the screen itself, not just the digitizer. Let's zoom out. So I'm going to get that adhesive in place. I'm so happy to finally say that this job is done. Finally, it is working. It is. I'm baffled. Like, this has been a severe struggle. I've never dealt with a job this bad before. This has been horrendous. I've never had a job go this wrong. Ever. It's been probably about 2 weeks, and the customer has been amazing. They were extremely nice about it, more than they needed to be, and I'm so happy about it. I'm happy that I finally fixed this, finally got this done, got the button fixed. The button, it was just a stupid button. All the files have been transferred over as well that the customer requested, and it's it's done and dusted. So if you guys like the video, please do leave a like for this pain that I went through. And if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.